Toph Beifong, the blind earthbending prodigy who changed the course of history. She helped defeat the Fire Nation, invented metalbending, and stood beside Avatar Aang in the final battle. But after the war ended and the world entered a fragile peace, Toph disappeared from the spotlight. What happened to her? Where did she go? And why does she choose to live in solitude, away from everything she helped build? Today we explore the untold journey of Toph Beifong after the war. With the Fire Nation defeated and peace finally within reach, Team Avatar disbanded, each member taking a different path to heal a broken world. But Toph, she didn't return home. She didn't want the mansion, the wealth, or the status her family tried to force on her as a child. Instead, she traveled. First with Aang and Zuko, helping stabilize the Earth Kingdom, settle post-war conflicts, and protect villages still recovering from Fire Nation raids. Toph was never one for politics, but when it came to action, she was unstoppable. Her combat experience made her a living legend, but it was her next move that would define her legacy forever. As Republic City was being formed, an ambitious dream of peace between nations, chaos reigned in its early days. Benders and non-benders clashed, crime ran wild, and no central force could control the growing unrest. Toph saw an opportunity, a way to bring order, not through speeches or laws, but through strength. She founded the world's first metal-bending police force, a team of elite benders trained by Toph herself, capable of enforcing justice in ways no one had seen before. Her vision was radical. Traditional earthbenders thought metal was impossible to bend, until she proved otherwise. She recruited young benders with potential. She trained them hard, and in time, her police force became one of the most feared and respected institutions in Republic City. Toph became Chief Beifong, bold, unfiltered, and unafraid to do what had to be done. But leadership came with a price. Somewhere along the way, Toph had children. 2 daughters, Lin and Suyin, 2 different fathers, and no clear explanation. Toph never liked rules, and motherhood didn't change that. She refused to talk about their fathers, believing her daughters should define themselves, not live in someone else's shadow. But parenting is bending of a different kind. Lin followed in her mother's footsteps, disciplined, loyal, and determined to uphold justice. Suyin, she rebelled hard, eventually leaving to found her own city, Zaofu, an artistic, elite metal-bending society that clashed with everything Toph believed in. Their relationships became strained. Lin resented her mother's secrecy. Suyin resented her harshness. Toph was caught between duty and family, and slowly the world she built began to push her out. At some point, Toph simply vanished. She retired from the police, left the city behind, and traveled to the Foggy Swamp, a wild spiritual jungle far from civilization. There, she lived alone. Why? Some say she was seeking peace. Others say she was hiding from the pain of her broken family. But perhaps Toph was listening. The swamp, connected to the entire world through its roots, taught her something even the Avatar couldn't explain. It wasn't about control or force anymore. It was about connection. When Korra met Toph decades later, she found not a warrior, but a hermit, a sage, a woman who had finally found her place, not in the world, but in herself. Toph had grown in her own way. Toph never cared for titles or praise. She didn't want a statue. She didn't want to be called a hero. But her legacy is undeniable. She changed earthbending forever. She created the foundation for modern law enforcement. She raised 2 powerful leaders, even if it wasn't perfect. And she showed the world that strength doesn't come from sight, but from vision. Toph Beifong was the only person who could say what she wanted, how she wanted, and still command respect. Even in solitude, her name echoed across generations. Toph's life after the war was messy, painful, and beautiful. She never played by the rules because she made her own. And through that, she helped shape a new world. If you enjoyed this journey into Toph's life, hit that like button, subscribe for more lore, and let us know in the comments. What do you think Toph's greatest moment was after the war? We'll be reading and responding. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next legend.